Resume.
So same as usual, working at your own pace, making sure that nothing is causing pain or discomfort as in joint pain. Muscular discomfort entirely up to you. If I'm fatiguing and I want to rest, I'll rest. If I want to keep going, I'll keep going. So same as usual, if I'm seated, see if I can try and find a nice upright seated position so that the diaphragm is not compressed. So the more I lean and hunch forward, the more the diaphragm is compressed, so it can descend and ascend to create the breath. This is something else we'll have to breathe instead. And the tendency is to build the tension through the neck, the top of the chest, the intercostal muscles, so right at the top. So see if I can give myself a little bit more space, so encouraging space through the abdomen, so that the diaphragm can descend on the inhalation and then ascend on the exhalation. If I'm lying down, I'm just allowing the floor to support me. So I'm just going to lay down on the back, the arms opening to the side, encouraging the palms to turn, face up to the ceiling, so that the chest can open, the front of the shoulder can relax. So focusing on the breath and at the same time doing the usual scan over the body. So noticing where the body is and how it feels. So is there tension anywhere? Is there discomfort anywhere? Is one side of the body different from the other? Is the pressure different between the right and the left side? I'm not changing anything. I'm just trying to be aware where I am and how I feel as I'm sitting or lying there. As I feel that the body is a little bit more settled, the breath feels a little bit more relaxed, I'm just going to focus on the shoulder joint. I'm going to work with one arm at a time. I'm going to start with a little elevation depression. So I'm going to shrug the shoulder up to the head, and then I'm going to depress, press it down and away. So I'm going to shrug it up to the head, and then depress, press it down and away. So I'm going to pull it up to the head, push it away, pull it up to the head, push it away. So see if I can focus so just on that right shoulder blade, gliding against the back of the rib cage, playing with the position of the shoulder itself. So if I pull the shoulder forward slightly and glide up and down, it feels different than if I take the shoulder back and glide up and down. See if I can find something smooth that is not causing pinching, that is not feeling gritty, that is not feeling sticky, is not feeling painful. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to keep the shoulder depressed, so away from the head, away from the ear, and then staying on the right side. This time I'm going to protract and retract. So I'm going to pull the shoulder forward, and then I'm going to push it back. Pull it forward, and then push it back. So if I'm lying down, I'll be trying to lift the shoulder blade off the mat, and then push it into the mat, lift it up, and then push it down again. And then same as I did for elevation depression, as the shoulder moves forward and back, notice the movement. Am I really moving the shoulder, or am I turning the back side to side? Can I hold the spine? Can I hold the back still and just focus the movement into the shoulder girdle, around the shoulder area? What happens if the shoulder shrug up to the head? As I'm moving forward the back, the movement feels really close, really tight. If I try to keep the shoulder down and away from the head, I feel that I've got a little bit more space. It feels easier. 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the shoulder, releasing the arm. I'm going to try and see if I can go deeper into the shoulder joint. I'm going to go for a little dump waiter. So staying on the right arm, I'm going to bend the elbow, turn the palm to face up and towards the ceiling. I'm going to squeeze the elbow close to the side of the waist. And then keeping the elbow close to the side, I'm going to rotate the arm out. So I'm going to turn the arm out to the right. So if I'm laying down, imagine to be sending your thumb towards the floor. out to the side, and then I'm going to come back to the center. So I'm going to rotate out and then rotate back. As you keep the rotation going, especially if you're laying down, see if you can maintain that 90-degree elbow flexion. As the tendency is for the arm to start to bending more, extending more. See if I can keep it at 90 degrees. So if I was holding a tray of glasses on the palm of my hand, I'm just going to rotate the tray to offer to the person next to me, and then I'm going to pull it back in. As I do so, see if I can keep the elbow close to the side of the body. So try to create a deep rotation into the shoulder joint. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the shoulder, relaxing the arm. It's a little bit more movement. So from external, I'm going to go into internal rotation. So if you're laying down because you don't have much space, I want to extend the arm down by the side, and then I want you to try and turn the arm in as far as you can, making sure that the elbows stay locked. Then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to wind it in again as far as I can. If I'm seated, as I've got more space, if the movement feels comfortable, I am going to reach the hand behind the back, and then I'm going to bring it back to the front. Behind the back, and then back to the front. It could be a little reach, a big reach, it doesn't matter, it depends on the mobility. Just make sure that, especially if seated, as I try to reach the hand a little bit further up the back, the shoulder is still down. So I'm not stiffening the neck, I'm not tensing the neck. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the shoulder, releasing the arm. I've got a little bit more controlling internal, external rotation. I'm going to start going for a slightly bigger movement. So I'm going to go for a little arm circles. Staying with the right arm, I'm going to raise the right arm up to the front. I'm going to swing it around the side, big circle, and then I'm going to come back. Then again, raising the arm up to the front, to circle around, maybe a slightly bigger circle if I can, and then I'm going to try again. So progressively see if I can encourage a bigger movement, but making sure that the movement is not forced on the shoulder, so it's not causing pain, it's not creating grinding, it's not creating discomfort as the arm moves around. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to reverse the circle. I'm going to go around the other way. So I'm going to swing around the side first, move towards the head, and then around and come back. So swing around first, towards the head, and then around first. The same as before, starting with a little movement, and then progressively see if I can go for a bigger movement, but again, making sure that that's not causing pain into the shoulder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing down, relaxing the shoulder, releasing the arm. So it's a little bit more movement around that right shoulder, shoulder girdle and shoulder joint. I'm going to repeat the same, but this time on the left side. So focus on the left shoulder blade. I'm going to start elevating, depressing the shoulder. So I'm going to shrug the left shoulder up to the head, and then I'm going to press it down and away. I'm going to shrug it up and then press it down. Shrug it up and then press it down. So elevating, depressing. And then same as I did on the other side. See if I can play with the position of the shoulder. If the shoulder comes forward even slightly, the movement feels different than if the shoulder goes back slightly. See if I can find that position that allows better, smoother movement up and down. 3, 2, 1. Keeping the shoulder depressed, I'm going to protract, retract. So I'm going to pull the shoulder forward, and then I'm going to push it back. Pull it forward, push it back. Forward, back. So see if I can loosen up in a slightly different direction than before. Again, notice the position of the shoulder. If I shrug my shoulder up to my head, the movement feels very stiff and very restricted. If I try to keep the shoulder down and away from the head, I feel that I've got more space. The movement feels easier, feels bigger. 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulder from protraction, retraction. I'm going to go into external rotation. So setting up into your dumb waiter. So I'm going to bend the elbow 90 degrees, glue the elbow to the side of the waist, the side of the rib cage, and then I'm going to start rotating the arm out and then rotating it back. So offering the drink to the person next to me and then bringing it back in again. Offering the drink next to the person next to me and then back in again. And then just notice the difference between this side and the other side. You might find that this feels a little bit more, a little bit easier or a little bit more restricted. I might find that I really need to concentrate on keeping the elbow close to the side as it wants to pull away, as it wants to move away. Or I might find that I need to concentrate to keep my elbow bent at 90 degrees because the hand tends to move towards the shoulder or tends to move away from it. So see if I can keep that sharp 90 as the arm moves. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the shoulder, releasing the arm, and then reversing the movement. I'm going to go into internal rotation. So if you're lying down, even if you're seated, I'm going to extend the arm down by the side, and then I'm going to turn the arm in. So I'm going to wind the arm in as much as I can, keeping the elbow locked, and then I'm going to unwind back. So I'm going to wind it in, and then unwind back. And then same as on the other side, if the movement feels easy, I feel that I can do a little bit more, then with the hand I'm going to reach behind the back, and then I'm going to release again. Reach behind the back, and then release again. If you're going for the reach behind the back, remember, careful with the shoulder and with the neck, because the tendency is to shrug the shoulder up to the head. I want the shoulder to stay down, the elbow to stay dropped. It's the hand that is trying to climb up the back. And then I'm going to release back again. 3, 2, last one, and releasing down, relaxing the shoulder, resetting the arm, and then from internal external rotation, I'm going to go into arm circles. So same as before, I'm going to raise the left arm up to the front. I'm going to circle around and come back. Then see if I can go for a bigger movement. I'm going to take the arm up a little bit further, circle around, and then come back. So finding the range that works for the shoulder, making sure that I'm not stiffening, I'm not fighting to create that movement. It feels easy. The arm is a bit heavy, but I can move it around, there's no problem. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I'm going to reverse the circle. So I'm going to go round the side towards the head and then circle back. Round the side towards the head and then circle back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the shoulder, releasing the arm. So there's a little bit more movement into the shoulder joint on the left, and I'm going to start getting the spine a little bit more involved. So if you're, it doesn't matter if you're sitting down or laying down, it doesn't matter, you might want to support the head with one hand. I'm going to start going with a little flexion side to side. So with the right arm, I'm going to reach down the right, flex into the right, coming back to the center. With the left arm, I'm going to reach down the left, flex into the left. If you're seated, imagine to be sitting with your back against the wall, making sure that you're not coming forward towards the legs. You're trying to keep nice and upright. So my head, my shoulders, and my hips are staying on the wall as I'm moving from side to side. If you're laying down, carrying the head with one hand, reaching with the other arm, bring the body back to the center, and then sliding off to the other side, and then coming back again. If I feel comfortable enough with the movement, and I feel that I can progress it slightly, I'm going to try and make the upper body just a little bit heavier. So instead of letting the arm reach down the side, I'm going to reach both fingertips to the back of my ears, back of the head if I'm lying down, as I need to support it. And then I'm just going to try and reach down, imagine the elbow to be pulled down to the right, and then the left elbow to be pulling down the left. So if I'm lying down on the back, I'm scooping the head into the hand, and then right elbow to the right, left elbow to the left, side to side. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Allowing the side of the belly a little rest, the neck and shoulders a little bit rest too, especially if I'm lying down. And then I'm going to change the direction of the movement. From lateral flexion, I'm going to go into a little rotation. I want to cross the arms onto the chest. And then keeping the arms crossed onto the chest, I'm going to start rotating from one over to the other side. So if I'm lying down, I'll be rolling from right shoulder into the left, back into the right, back into the left. So the movement will feel quite small. As with the arms onto the chest, the movement is just your thoracic spine rotated. See if you can focus on that rotation. If I'm seated, exactly the same. Making sure that the back is nice and upright, so I'm not hunching forward, I'm not leaning from side to side. And then if I feel the movement that feels a little bit easier, a little bit looser, then again, I'm going to try and see if I can lower the arms a little bit more. So instead of keeping the arms close to the chest, I'm going to reach the hands forward, clasping the hands together, interlocking the fingers, and then I'm going to try and reach to the right, keeping the arms as straight as possible, then swinging to the left, keeping the arms as straight as possible, and then over to the right again. So still rocking from shoulder to shoulder, but this time with a longer lever that is hanging off to the side, so with the arms that are stretching off to the side. So I'm going to to the head, follow the arms, see if I can keep them both straight. The fingers are locked together, the hands are locked together. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the upper back, and then from rotation, I'm going to go into a little flexion extension. So if I'm laying down, I'm going to use the hands to the back of the head, so supporting the head. I'm going to start with the flexion and then finish with the extension. I'm going to tuck the chin towards the chest. I'm going to start lifting the shoulder, lifting the head, and then lengthening through the neck. I'm going to lift the shoulders off the mat, so a little crunch. Then as I come down, I'm going to push the head, push the arms down into the floor, and then try to lift the chest up and towards the ceiling. So I'm going to try and extend. Then I'm going to close the elbow, round, come forward into flexion, and then back down, open the arms, lifting through the chest, extend. If I'm seated, I'm going to do the same, but see if you can be aware of the movement happening just at the top of the spine, so I don't want the lower back to get involved as much as possible. So I'm going to flex it through as if I was trying to put the face into the middle of the chest. So lengthening the neck and then flexing through the thoracic spine. And then extending, I'm going to push the chest forward, dropping the shoulders down, see if I can get a nice lift at the top. Then flexing again. And extending. I can keep the hands onto the head to encourage that movement, or if I feel that my arm doesn't go that far, my shoulder feels very tight, I'm going to keep the hands down on the legs or down at the front. So flexing, extending. 3, 2, last one. And releasing back. Adjusting the back, relaxing through the shoulders, through the upper body. So there's a little bit more movement up into the back. I'm going to try and see if I can create a sum down into the lumbar too. I'm going to start off with a nice and easy pelvic tilt. So I'm going to bring myself up into neutral, so think of sitting directly up onto your seat base, and then tilting the pelvis back. I'm going to press the lower back into the mat. Then back into neutral, and then tilting again. Back into neutral, and then tilting again. So these times, if you can think of the movement coming from further down. So it's the lumbar going into flexion, extension, flexion, extension. Using the belly, trying to scoop the belly in as you flex, and then relaxing as you extend. So scooping into flex, and then relaxing to extend. If I'm laying down, exactly the same. I'm just going to use the mat to guide me. I'm going to tilt the pelvis until I can feel the lower back touching the floor, and then rocking the hips forward, back into neutral again. A little gap between the lower back and the mat. Then again, tilting the pelvis, pressing the lower back gently to the mat, and then back into neutral again. 3, 4, 5, relaxing the neck, relaxing the jaw. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the hips or releasing the lower back. I'm going to change the direction of the movement. From a flexion extension, I'm going to go to a little hip hitch, so a little side to side movement. So I'm going to hitch the right hip up towards the right side of the rib cage, and then hitch that left towards the left side. So if I'm lying down, this time the pelvis is flat against the mat, but it's just gently sliding from left to right, from side to side. Right side of the belly pull, the right hip hitches up. Left side of the belly pulls, the left hip hitches up. If I'm seated, the same as usual. Imagine to be taking the pressure off one of the seat bones. So I'm going to try and make my right seat bone lighter, hitch the right hip up, then release, and then left and release. So see if I can find a slightly stronger connection into the side of the belly, making it work to create that pull, to create that lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. We're releasing back to the center. And then from lateral flexion, I'm going to go into a little rotation. Same as usual, if I'm seated, I'm a little bit restricted as the hips are seated on the chest, so I can't really move the pelvis. If I'm laying down, I've got more space and more range. So if I'm seated, I'm going to bring knees and feet nice and close together, and then reaching the opposite hand across, so the right arm across to the left side, and then I'm just going to push the legs to the right. Then come back to center, and then reaching the left arm across, so pushing the legs to the left, and then coming back. So see if I can encourage you just a little bit more movement into the lumbar spine. If I'm laying down, I don't need to use my arms, as I can just play with gravity. I'm going to let the arms open to the side, feet and knees nice and close together, and then I'm just going to start rolling the hips over to one side, bring them back to the center, and then rolling them the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, returning the legs back to the middle. So a little bit more movement through the lumbar spine. This time I'm going to focus on the hip joint on the legs. I'm going to start off with a little knee lift. So if you need a little support, you can grab hold of your band, your strap, and then put it behind one leg. It doesn't matter which one, we're going to be doing both. And then from there, I'm just going to start lifting the foot off the ground. So think of the thigh moving towards you, and then I'm just going to ease back down again. So I'm going to try and lift, and then lower. Same as usual, I might find that the foot lifts off the ground, it might not lift off the ground. It doesn't matter, just to see if you can focus on that tension deep into the front of the hip and into the front of the belly. So they're ever working together to create compression so that the hip can close and the foot can come away from the ground. And then I'm going to open and relax again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release it down, relaxing the hip or releasing the leg from hip flexion, from knee lift. I'm going to move into hip abduction. So staying with the same leg. So this time, instead of trying to lift the leg towards me, I'm going to open the leg out to the side. So I'm going to open as far to the side as I feel in control. And then I'm going to close my way back to the center again. If you're laying down, so if you can be aware of the hips, so the back of the pelvis, the back of the bum. Can I keep the bum on the floor? Can I make sure that the leg opens to the side? The hips are not turning in that direction, they're not rotating that way. If I'm seated, again, the sequence is fixed, so it shouldn't be an issue. The pelvis should stay quite stable. If I feel that I need a little help, a little guidance, I could use the hand to help me push the leg off to the side and then bring it back. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And releasing back, relaxing the hip or releasing the leg. And then from hip abduction, I'm going to go into hip abduction. So this time I need the pillow or the ball. So I'm going to set the pillow between the knees, between the inner thighs, and then still focusing on the side leg. With that leg that I've just been moving out, this time I'm just going to squeeze into the ball. And then release. Squeeze into the ball. And release. The other leg will have to work too, as if it doesn't work, the legs will tend to move off to the side. But what I'm focusing on is just the one side. Squeezing a little bit harder, trying to press in and almost like trying to go slightly across with that middle line, the center line of the body. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And releasing back. Releasing the inner thigh, relaxing the hip, maybe giving the leg a little bit of a tap. I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing on the other leg. So I'm going to start off with the knee lift. It's the same as I did on the other side. I'm going to try and bring the leg up first. So I want the foot to lift away, the hip to close, and then I'm going to ease back. So same as on the other side. If I need the band, I'm going to use the band. And then with the arm, I'm just going to try and guide that leg into that little movement, into that little lift. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And raising back, relaxing the hip, raising the front of the belly, front of the thigh, And then from a knee lift, I'm going to go into a knee drop, so a lateral movement. So I'm going to shuffle the feet and the knees nice and close together, and then knees down, I'm going to start opening the leg out to the side. Bring it back to center, and then opening again. It's the same as I did before, using the hand to encourage the leg to move out, and then using the hand to help me bring it back. 3, 4. If I'm laying down, the hips are nice and still, so see if you can prevent that little rocking to the side every time that the leg opens. See if I can keep myself to the center. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, the same as before, maybe inner thigh, maybe just a bit of a tap, relaxing the leg, releasing the hip, and then we're going to get into the little hip abduction. So I'm going to get into the ball squeeze. So putting the ball of the pillow between the knees, and then focusing on the leg that I've just been moving out. This time I'm going to try and squeeze that leg in. And then I'm just going to ease that pressure back. Squeeze it in. And then ease that pressure back. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And then the last one, squeezing in as far as I can. And releasing back. Releasing the hip, releasing the inner thigh, relaxing the legs. And then I'm going to finish off with a little bit of a combination, arms and legs. So imagine to be puppeting your legs. So I'm going to imagine strings that go from my right hand to my right leg, my left hand to my left leg. I'm going to start pulling with my right arm. I want the right leg to lift. Pulling with my left arm, I want my left leg to move. Pulling with my right, I want my right leg to tense. Pulling with the left, I want the left leg to tense. So right, back, left, back, right, back, left, back. One more time on each side. Right, back, left, back. And then I'm going to finish off with a little string across. So imagine the string this time going from your right hand to your left leg, and from your left arm to your right. So I want the arm to go up and the opposite leg to lift. 1. Opposite arm and leg. 2. Opposite arm and leg. 3. 4. So imagine a little marching movement. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And releasing back. Relaxing the hips and releasing the shoulders. If you're laying down, rolling over onto your side, and in your own time, pushing yourself up into sitting. Finding your comfortable seated position. So position for the legs that doesn't upset the hip, doesn't create discomfort in the hips or into the knees. Leaning against the wall sofa to give a little support if you need to, or using the hands behind as a support. And then once you feel that the back is set, so you can try and find the seat bends, planting the seat bends down to the mat, onto the chair. And then I'm going to start lifting at the front. So if you go sticking the chest forward, I'm going to lift up, I'm going to look forward, I'm going to look up, I'm going to look back. And see if I can lengthen and lift to the front of the body. Then I'm going to release, I'm going to do the reverse. I'm going to close the front of the body and then rounding and lengthening into the back. Then again, I'm going to lift, open up, creating space in the front, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then reversing, closing at the front and then rounding and opening at the back. Last time, extending up as much space as I can, drawing the shoulder back, dropping them down, looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then releasing, coming forward. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your bow, give yourself a clap on the any question or anything as usual. Please say. Remember, you need to unmute yourself.